G'day guys, so today we are talking about the stiff legged deadlift. Really bad choice of words for the stiff legged deadlift because, as you're about to witness, you don't perform this lift at all with the stiff legged deadlift. Stiff legged. In fact, I want you to eradicate that word as much as possible with the stiff. So let's talk about this lift. This lift is purely to improve your hip hinge pattern. For those who don't know what a hip hinge pattern, it is the ability to take your hips out, load up your hamstrings, and come back in. Now you can see straight away then, I didn't go down to touch my toes. The reason being is that if we keep our legs straight and locked, it will create what we call spinal flexion. Now if you look, that's my lower back with a straight leg and I lean down, you can see this rounding. Even if I try and shoulder blades back and down and try and level that out, you can see how much spinal flexion I have. You can see how much load is placed through my lower back. But if I slightly bend my knees and allow those hips to draw back, you will notice how much straighter my back is, right? And how much lower I can go before I enter spinal flexion. So that being said, that is our end marker, and that a lot of people's range of motion will be subjected to how tight their hamstrings are, or how much control they have over their posterior chain. So when you feel that you're entering, when you've got a nice stretch to your hamstrings and you're entering what we call spinal flexion, so you're starting to round, that's when we know that you're at the bottom point of the lift and we need to shoot back up through our hips. So what we need to think about now is how do we get into this position? Well, we're going to firstly lock up our back because we want to transfer the load through our predominantly our quads, our glutes and our hamstrings. So we're going to pull our shoulder blades back and down. We need to shore up our feet. A lot of people struggle to feel this through their glutes and through their hamstrings because of the fact that they don't actually know how to screw their feet in. So let's create 3 points of contact with our feet. 3 points are this: up on your toes is 1 and 2, and rocking back onto your heels is 3. We're going to then screw our feet into the ground, which is going to transfer the load to the outsides of our foot. So we're screwing out. Notice when I do this, and you'll feel it too, you screw your feet in, your knees go out, you're going to feel so much tension right up through your legs and into your bum. That is how you know that you have switched everything on and that you're in a good position to perform our stiff-legged deadlift. When you're holding the bar, you're going to pull your shoulder blades back and down. What you need to realize is this exercise, as much as people think that it's about the concentric or the ability to come up, it's not. It is not at all. It is all about your eccentric. It's about the lowering. It's about going nice and slow, feeling your hamstrings load up, get to your end marker, then shoot through, bang, and keep that tension on through your feet. So you screw your feet in, your hips come out, end marker, bang, slow, controlled, bang. It is an eccentric movement, the lowering part. Cannot stress that enough. Right, for those who really struggle to do a hip hinge, here are a few ways to practice our hip hinge. Using the rack, what I want you to do is, all I want you to do is think about screwing your feet in, knees go out, and just push your bum out towards the rack, touch, come through. Once you feel that touch, then you know that you have achieved what it is that we're after, and that is a hip hinge, right? That's how you can practice it. Another way to think about it is that you are aiming for the back of the room or a button behind your bum. So you're like this, and you're coming down, touching that button, coming back up. That is how you can practice it. Now, let's talk about, well, let's execute it, the actual lift. We're going to grab a hold of the bar. Now you can use straps, chalk, whatever to cement your hands to the bar. I'm not really fussed, but for now, we're just going to use the old-fashioned grip and pull our shoulder blades back and down, and we're going to stand up with the bar. I'm going to take a few little steps out so that we are enough room to clear the hooks, but if we do get ourselves in a bit of strife at the bottom, we can stand back up or we can drop it. My God, understand this. Dropping the weight isn't that bad. This won't break. You break. So for the love of God, if you get to this position, can't come up, don't rake it up with your lower back. Let it go. Let it drop. It'll bounce. You can pick it up, you can go again. Sure, you'll make a noise. Sure, a couple of people in the back corner will go, ooh, 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 ooh. But you're not injured, this isn't hurt, this isn't broken, everything's still functional, no one dies. Okay, cannot stress that enough either. Right, so grabbing hold of the bar, shoulder blades go back and down, stand tall, little steps out. We're going to screw our feet into the ground, our knees are going to come out, and we're going to feel tension all the way up and into our glutes. From here, ever so slowly, come down and keep going until you feel your hamstrings load up. Now I can feel my hamstrings load up here. I'm not in spinal flexion. That there is spinal flexion. Here, perfectly fine. All right. Then we're going to come up, snap, bang. Slow down, control your eccentric movements. Can feel my hamstrings? Bang. Slow. Bang. And that there is how we want to do our stiff-legged deadlift. Allow a little bend in the knee. Don't do it stiff-legged. Remember, if we're stiff, we create spinal flexion. If we're not stiff, we don't create spinal flexion. We don't have lower back issues. We feel it all through our glutes and our hamstrings just as much. We have more control, more tension through the muscle, more growth. Team, that there is how you perform a stiff-legged deadlift.